Hey allihopa! Welcome to another TTC Tuesday. The footage you're seeing right now is me sitting in the waiting room when I was about to go into an ultrasound on Wednesday. So here's just me trying to get a good angle of the screen. And on this ultrasound we basically just checked how long we've gotten since the start of the hormones. So here I had taken hormones for 6 or probably 7 days. This is one of the ovaries. I think it's the right one, and there's all the small follicles as usual, and then there's one that's about 10 millimeters or so, 9 or 10, and then this is the endometrium, just checking that it's growing as it's supposed to do, and apparently it is. And then, oh yeah, the first one was the left ovary, because this is the right one, because the biggest follicle was on the right side, which normally it isn't for me, but it was this time, and it's about, was it about 11, 12 millimeters? 11, I think, if I remember correctly. So the doctor actually said that he wanted me to come back on Saturday because he was afraid to wait longer than that. So right now we're gonna go to the Saturday ultrasound, and we were of course hoping that there would be a lot of activity. First off, they checked the endometrium, it was fine. They went to the right ovary, and the follicle, let's see, the follicle has grown a tiny bit. It's about 12 millimeters here, and so it's grown like 1 millimeter in 4 days. Normally a follicle grows about 2 millimeters a day, so that's not very good, that's not good progress. But he said to just keep going with the same amount of hormones, or she said, and I'm going back in a few days. Hi, it's now Tuesday and I am filming this footage, obviously. I also just did the voiceover that you just heard. And so yeah, the ultrasound on Saturday was not very good. I mean, not a lot had happened, and that was kind of disheartening, but they told me to keep on going with the same amount of hormones, and hopefully things would happen. So they gave me another appointment on Wednesday, which is tomorrow. However, things have not gone very well since then. Yesterday in the afternoon I started bleeding, just a tiny bit, but still. Bleeding when I'm taking Purogon is never good, and it actually kept going. Today I bled even more, and I couldn't get a hold of them yesterday. So I took an executive decision and I upped my dosage, which I don't think the doctor's going to be super happy with, since they need to make those calls. But I couldn't get a hold of them, and I wanted to at least try to get this cycle to be workable. So I upped the dosage from 50 units to 66 units, and that's what I took last night. And I told them today when I called them, I told them everything, and they were like, okay, that probably sounds like a good idea. I can see here that you've done, this is apparently my 14th cycle of this kind of treatment. So she said, I'm sure you know what you're doing, but I'll tell the doctor, and I'm going in tomorrow, as I said, so I'll just have to justify myself to him then, but I think it's gonna be fine. This is my last cycle anyway, so what are they gonna do? It's not like they're gonna like tell me, oh, you will never come back because you didn't consult us, and they are very nice, and they know that I'm very I know what this is about, and this has happened to me before, so I'm not nervous. It's just that it felt very weird to change something about my hormones and not ask the doctor first. But since I am still bleeding, I am trying to set my mind to the fact that it's probably not going to work out this time. The other time that I started bleeding and we didn't really do anything, I went in for an ultrasound a few days later, and the endometrium, the lining of the uterus, had shrunk, and that's not what you want. If you're getting an ovulation, you want it to be pretty thick. And the other time that I started bleeding, we actually upped the dosage quite a bit, and then we could keep on going. The endometrium started growing again, but then because I was taking such a high dose of the hormone, the follicles, I had 3 follicles that grew to a big size that would ovulate, or that would release eggs if I ovulated. So they said, you're not allowed to ovulate this time. And that's the other, like, I feel like maybe it's not even possible when I start bleeding to get it just right, but I at least want to try. So it's going to be interesting to see what they say tomorrow at the ultrasound, but I'm trying to realize that probably I'm going to have to just stop this hormone treatment, and then their clinic is closed for the summer. So that's very disappointing, and if that's the case, then probably next week is going to be the last TTC Tuesday, because as I said, we're not even allowed to start a new cycle most likely once they open again in August. So probably this kind of thing is going to be over, and for now we don't really have a solution. We're just going to have to wait to get a baby, or to try for a baby again for another 2 years or so, which is very depressing. But we will talk about that more next week. Now I have to go and make dinner for my family, so please like this video if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see more of our daily vlogs, and we will see you tomorrow for a normal vlog, and in a week for possibly the last TTC Tuesday on this channel. Hej då!